This week, our guest on the podcast is Sam Openshaw. Not only does Sam and his wife Heather run a very successful real estate team here in the East Valley, but Sam has a very powerful story where he got a potential diagnosis that truly changed his life. This is a really fantastic episode all about faith and challenge and triumph. You're going to want to listen. All right, well, welcome to The Real Deal. Our guest is Sam Openshaw.
I'm so nervous.
And yeah.
Sitting with the heavy hitters.
But I'm excited. I want to start. I'm excited because you're such a cool dude, Sam, but also your story is really, really powerful.
Stop.
So I think this will be one that for our listeners that not only are they going to be inspired, but I think at the end they're going to probably learn a few things. But I want to start with this. You shared this in your Facebook post. It says, as a man, you think you have control. You think this won't happen to me. You think I am good, I do good, I'm healthy, a good person. God won't do this to me, right? He loves me, right? Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's one of the hardest lessons to learn is that you don't control very much at all. And worrying about something, having anxiety about something does absolutely no good because you have anxiety as something like, is God going to change the outcome? Absolutely not. I think the things you can control are like your faith and where you put your faith. Mm-hmm. And like when people talk about, I surrendered and I gave it up to God or whatever, like you learn truly what that means. Like honestly, before this happened, I didn't know or feel exactly what this really meant. Like nothing this serious has ever happened to me in my life. So and there was a time during the middle of this that like I said a prayer and I don't remember how exactly it went, but I told God like, okay, man, like there's no doctor that's going to get me out of this. There's no medicine that's going to get me out of this. It's you and only you. I have nowhere else to turn. I don't know what else to do. Like I basically said like, do your worst. Like take me as low or wherever you need to go. Use me as an example. Just don't take me home yet. Like I'm not ready to go. I will go and I will knock on death's door for you and I will stand there as long as you want me to. I just don't want to go through the door yet because I still have youngsters and stuff at home. I still think that there's work for me still to do, but like, God, it's you, man. And when I said that prayer kind of at the beginning, because I still don't know if I had cancer or not at that time. And I said that prayer and it just like instantly was like, something came over me and I was like, I don't have cancer. Every time the doctor would meet with us, and it was 2 or 3 times a week, I would talk to this oncologist, and he was a fantastic guy. I just didn't want him on my team, right? Because then he thought I had cancer. And he never left the conversation without saying, you have cancer. I just need a test to prove it. But me, I was like, there was something in me that was like, I don't have cancer, man. Like I've prayed the prayer, like God's got me. I just, it was weird.
And he just thinks you're being optimistic.
Yeah. Because I'm sure he hears it all the time. But like there was something in me that I've never felt before that was like, I ain't got it. Now the human side of me, obviously I didn't want it, but I tried not to worry about it. So God definitely blessed me to where like I wasn't freaked out about it. I wanted the results to come back just so I could show the doctor, like, I'm good, man. Let's move on to the next stage. Like, I don't have cancer.
Sam, can we go back to the very beginning? I want to go back to, and I feel a little unique connection to your story because without going into too much detail, my daughter was going to go and stay at what was going to be a new resort. And so I had talked to Heather as you guys were walking that journey. But can you take us back to that part of your story?
Yeah. So I'll kind of run through it. So we live primarily in Arizona. Like you, we run a decent second place to you guys' real estate team. But yeah,
not true.
And
I'm chasing them.
So we're in Arizona, and we bought some multifamily resorts in Minnesota. So this year we're under contract on a new resort. It's kind of right across the street from my old one. I mean, it's perfect. So we had made a couple trips from Arizona back to Minnesota with like all my tools, my trailer. I took my family, and I took all the horses. So I'm a big rodeo guy. So I calf rope, team rope, and we were going to do all that in the Minnesota area in the summertime. So I was going to work a little bit in the morning, take the kids out on the boat and ski and stuff, and then just barbecue all summer. Get out 120-degree weather.
Sounds
I was
amazing.
Right?
super excited.
Living the dream.
I feel like we need to plan this.
We do, and it's beautiful up there. I love it. So we had made some trips. On the last trip, I just hauled, I think, 5 or 6 horses, my whole family, and then we were going to sit up there. Well, on the trip up there, the right side of my face started to go numb. So I went to an urgent care a few days later. My face had been numb for a while. Went to an urgent care doctor. He did all the tests and stuff. Couldn't really figure out what's wrong. He's like, we need to do an MRI. So I actually drove down to Arizona as we were leaving. So I drove back to Arizona, pick up another load of horses and stuff. While I was here, I went in an MRI. The very next day, I jumped back in the truck. We came back to Minnesota. During that time, they hadn't read the results yet. So Heather jumps on the phone, hey, you guys need to read these results of the MRI. Well, 10 o'clock at night, we're at the resort. The boys are sleeping, watching TV, whatever. We're sitting there, and my phone goes off. You got an email. So I go in there, and Heather reads it. And she opens it up, and all over it is cancer, tumor, mass in the brainstem, and it actually settled in the pons, which is the most sensitive part in your brainstem, and just instantly freaked out. Your body just starts just shaking. And a lot of people will say did the life flash before your eyes? And it didn't. What flashed before my eyes is more of the servant heart is have I done enough for people? Have I done enough for Jesus Christ to where, potentially when it was going through my head, it's I have a good friend who just 6 months ago found out he had cancer. 47 days later, we're at his funeral.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, okay, man, I got 42 days. Is my wife good to last the rest of her life without me? Are my 3 boys, because on the other side of the room were 3 young boys. We had just adopted one 3 years ago. So it's his family kind of already left him. Yeah, he's fantastic.
How old are they?
Now they're 12, 9, and almost 4. So they were, 12, 9, and he was still 3 at the time. But yeah, and his family kind of not left him, that's kind of sad, but he's adopted, so he come to ours, and then now I'm going to leave him again, And it was have I done enough for those people? And have I done enough for God? Because I'm in 42 days, I could be meeting this dude face to face, and you don't think about that until it happens.
Yeah.
I was healthy. There was nobody that was healthier than me. There's nobody that would work harder than me. I was perfect, other than my face was going numb. And I thought I was doing all the right things, right? I pray, I go to church, I'll fast, I'll serve people. I thought I was doing the right things, which I kind of was, but I think God wanted me to, there's things that I learned that God had to take me down so far for me to understand it and for me to learn it. Because if I just got the flu, I call it the man flu, which is a real thing. I'm a survivor of the man flu. But I wouldn't tell you about the man flu.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't have me on the podcast
Right.
talking about the man flu.
Right.
Because
We would say suck it up. Yeah.
Women don't
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Guys
Yeah.
survive it, but I don't make a podcast, right? So there's a lot of things that God really had to take me down so low for me to grow more. And I think that's what God has.
Do you think that, and we want to hear the rest of your story, but do you think that's one of your biggest lessons from this is your faith in God?
100%. And you have to, because when you're faced with a challenge like this, there's nobody else. God works through people. I could see how non-believers will see, oh, well, the medicine and the doctors did that. Yeah, but God put them in that place. God works through people to help us, just like he works through you to help him, or vice versa. So no, that God was in this the whole time. And there's so many different ways that God was in this. Even financially leading up to it, we had some personal flips on the market that have been a nightmare. And I think we had 3 on the market at one time. So I was thinking hey man, before this happened, I was thinking payday, right? Yeah. They were just a nightmare. Probably the 3 worst transactions, all of our transactions, those were the 3 worst, and they just kept leading on. The day after my brain biopsy, the biggest one closes. And then the next day, the next one closes. And then like 2 days later, the next one closes. It's like, but for 6 months, it was
Right.
ghost towns. And then this happened, and it was like, so now our team is financially set for a couple months. Heather was able to like sit by my side like the entire time. We hired the right people. Two of the people we hired, their first day was the day I went in for the surgery.
Yeah.
Like just the timing was
Yeah.
just immaculate. So to sit and think that you have control over that is false. You don't.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, you put your faith in God and pray about it. Like one thing I learned too is it's on God's time and it's his time and he will be on time. It's not your time.
Yes.
He is on time when he's ready.
Yeah.
And his timing is so much better than ours.
I want to go back, but I want to go to your story. But before I do, Sam, talk a little bit about where your faith was before this, because I know this has been a huge thing for you. Like it became real, right? I think from what you've said before, your faith was maybe something you did, but not really something that was super personal.
Right.
Not only is it super personal for you, but you're almost on a mission now to
Right.
share that with others.
Right. So, like I've been a Christian for a long time, and I pray, go to church, do all the things, right? But to me, looking back now, from what I've learned, is that like I did it like I want to like check the box, for lack of better words. It's like, yeah, I pray at night, but it was like, hey, I said like the same exact prayer every night. It was almost like memorized.
It was routine.
And it wasn't like thoughtful. It wasn't coming from the heart every time. And there's two different levels. Now it's like I'm excited to pray. I pray with like a purpose. Sometimes there's a lot of things that I pray that are the exact same, but I think like my faith and a little bit of the knowledge in God has definitely gotten to the next level.
Yeah.
Again, you think you're doing all the right things, but
Yeah.
like my coach says, God will tighten. He never chokes, right? He'll tighten you because he wants you to grow, but he's not going to give you something that he can't handle.
That's a great reminder when we're going through a hard time that there's purpose in our pain and good will come from it. And if we
Yes.
can just hang in there, right,
Yes.
and get through it and trust that God does have a purpose in this. So take us back, Sam, to you're reading that report
Yeah.
and thinking the worst, because I think whenever anybody here's tumor, brain tumor,
Yeah.
cancer, like those are the worst things that you can hear.
100%.
Your life changes. You have this completely different perspective of, did I do enough?
Yeah.
And the next day you're flying back home.
So I'm flying back home because my urgent care doctor, who I had just met, so I drove to Fargo, North Dakota, right? There's not much out there. Great little town. So I went to one urgent care, and things up there, like they shut down like 7 o'clock. When things start getting dark, they're done. They go home, they go fishing, whatever. They got life figured out up there. But anyway, so I showed up like 7:32. They're closed. Oh, crap. So I jump back on the phone. There's one more urgent care open till 8. It's that guy. So I boogie down there and I meet him. He's a fantastic guy. And he runs a different test. So anyway, I did a follow-up appointment with him. Like he got the results just as me and Heather were going to fly out. We met with him and he's like, yes, it is scary, but like we don't know exactly what this is. You need to get down to your specialist. But he's like, I've already contacted. I have a brother-in-law who's very, very high up in this hospital deal in Arizona, and I've already called him, and he's going to review your report and call you. So cool. So we left his office. Before we left, so he's an older gentleman, and he said like, Sam, you're going to be fine. I'm going to pray for you. My family's going to pray for you. Like, we serve a higher God. Like, you got to lean into him, have faith. Like, he's going to protect you. You're going to be fine. Okay. Like, this is going to be scary, but you're going to be fine. And so then, okay, I love it. Kind of get teary-eyed, give him a hug. I've never given my doctor a hug. It was weird. And we left. We get to the airport and he calls me and he's like, hey, you should be getting some phone calls from people now. So answer the phone, Well, I'm talking to him, his brother-in-law calls, and from his personal cell phone. So I pick it up, and he's like, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm your oncologist. I looked at your report. You need to get down here right away. We need to see you. He goes, I have already started. I have a really good friend who's like the head neurosurgeon at a certain hospital. And I called him, and if you can get back tonight, he says he wants to see you right away because this is important. Man, that's awesome. So my doctor had started like a chain reaction of getting all these different people involved. And I think it was God had those people in place for me, right? Because like how often does the doctor give you a cell phone, calls his family member, and he gives the cell phone, and then I get the neurosurgeon's cell phone? Like that doesn't happen, right? So anyway, we get to Arizona. My in-laws meet us at the airport. They take the kids. We go to the hospital.
By the way, what are you telling the kids at this time?
So right now, like I try not to like guard the kids too much because like life is real and things happen. Yeah. I didn't want to get them worried about the cancer, the C word, until I knew I had it or didn't have it. They knew I was sick because I'd been so much in the hospital. They knew I was sick, but they didn't know what I was sick from. They just thought like the flu or something, the man flu, right? But we didn't tell them until I got the results, and then we broke the news to them. Yeah, so then we go to the hospital, and I check in at like 9:30. By midnight, I'd met with the neurosurgeon, and he got me in the surgery the next day. So the next day I do a brain biopsy. So they go in, basically drilled in the backside of my head, and then went in there with a needle and a little camera on it. And because it's in the palms, it's a very like the nerve endings, right? It looks like the base of a palm tree, right? Just all kinds of nerves everywhere. Well, this needle had a camera on it. It was trying to fish through all the nerves to get to the tumor or whatever it was, grab the sample, came out. It was like a 2.5 hour deal. I was sore, just torn up. Well, I got out of the surgery at, I don't know, at that time it was like 9 o'clock at night. Heather's in the room. My father-in-law was in the room at the same time. I was waking up out of the anesthesia and I was loopy and the world was tilted a little bit. And my bearings, it was almost, the world wasn't spinning, like I had sea legs and I was tilted. And I didn't really know what was going on. I couldn't hear very well. My vision was kind of messed up. Well, the surgeon says, yeah, everything went good. I got the sample I wanted. We're gonna send that off. He leaves. About 10 minutes later, my family is standing around, and in walks, we'll call him Little Body, Big Brain. And he introduces himself as the oncologist. And I was like, wait, like what is he doing here? Like, I don't need this guy. I don't have cancer. And he basically broke it down like, I know you have cancer. I just don't know what stage you're at. We're waiting for the test result to come in, and we're going to get you started on treatment, and kind of left it at that. Didn't say like, oh, my chances of living or dying were with this type of cancer, nothing like that. So then your world just starts spinning again, right? So come to find out, I'd stay 3 or 4 days in the hospital. All the tests are coming back that I don't have cancer. But again, this guy he's really, really good at what he does. He's like, man, this looks like cancer to me. It's acting like cancer. We're sending off for more tests. Well, while I'm at home, I'm not getting any better. Like, I don't know what a plan is. And this is very, like, it helps me in my life is that when people are relying on you and you leave them in the dark, like their world just starts spinning. To us, it's everyday life, right? Buying and selling a house is like buying a candy bar now. Yeah. It's nothing to me. But to our clients, it's the world, right? And they're just freaking out. So I've learned we got to communicate better. But anyway, so I go back to the hospital because I'm not getting better.
Were
I don't
you,
know
by
what
the
I'm
way, telling your clients what was going on, or no?
Not really. So like we've got a team, and they kind of took over. Yeah. It was hard for me I didn't have my phone for like 3 weeks because like I was so exhausted from just recouping, because the surgery kind of reset like my hearing, my taste, my balance. I'm still dealing with the balance and the tilted stuff, hence these glasses I got. So I don't even have my phone for 3 weeks. So Heather's kind of working her deals and my deals at the same time. So we go back to the hospital. They run more tests. I probably took 7 MRIs. I've taken 15 CAT scans, CT scans, with contrast. I've taken a PET scan, a lumbar puncture. Like there's nothing that they have not gone through on all the testing for me. So we meet my oncologist, and he's got results for us. I'm like, perfect. So we go in there, and we actually see some clients of ours there, and her husband has since passed, since it's horrible. So we're in his office, and he's asking me, how you doing? How you feeling? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, man, I'm good. Like, you got results. Open the envelope. Yeah. Am I the father or not, man? Right? Yeah. So the reason he's like, well, we can't find any cancer. So I'm like, hey, awesome. But he says, but well, I got a worse disease now, right? What do I got? And he's like, you don't have cancer, but the pathologist were like, dude, the tests show that he doesn't, but this really, really looks like cancer. You need to send this off for additional testing just to make sure. So now I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Like, if I don't have regular cancer, do I have a special cancer that nobody's heard of and I'm going to die pretty soon? Or, like, do I not have anything? Because they're like, it could be cancer, it could just be inflammation, right? So they sent it off. And he says, it's going to take about 14 days. Like, 18 days later, still don't have any results. Every time the phone rings, your heart just sinks. Like, oh, man, here's the results, right? So finally, like a Friday night, phone rings. It's the oncologist. Heather takes the phone call, and I'm on the bed, just like rocking there, just trying to survive. And hey, I checked the PET scan. We've had these people look at it. Top people in the world have looked at this thing. They're like, we can't find cancer. We see no evidence of cancer. And now that we've given it time with the medicine, it's not acting like cancer. So everything points to, I do not have cancer. And this is like legit now. Just like the instant, like I didn't know how to react. I couldn't like talk. You couldn't get to your knees fast enough, thank God, because like I knew that it was him that got me through all this stuff. I just needed a test to prove it. And multiple times my surgeon and my oncologist called me a unique case or a weird case. And it's almost when they said that, like they knew there was something else there. And I was like, I'm glad you got to see the glory of God work, right? Like, and people have other stories and other outcomes than I do. Yeah. And I can't own that. And I pray for them and I wish them the best. But like, there's a reason that God, did this for me. And I'm excited to act on what I learned.
Two things, Sam. You told me about your physical therapist and a conversation you had with him, which I thought was really cool. Can you share that?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So between when I got out of the hospital and I found out I didn't have cancer, there was a time in there where Heather found this physical therapy that deals strictly with neurology stuff. And I scored an appointment with them. I went in there, and on the drive there, because I didn't know if I had cancer or not at the time, Heather was driving me, which she never drives, and it scared me. But anyway, and I was so close to like death's door. Like, I don't think I have ever been closer to like dying than I was there. I've lost like 30 pounds at the time. I was
Was
weak.
it because of stress?
Like the stress, you're not eating in the hospital because you're not moving, so I'm not consuming anything. They had me on like crazy medicines. Like, I mean, I took like 14 pills every single day, and just, I think you're right. Like the stress, man, it was horrible. So on the ride there, it's like a 10-minute drive, and I'm telling Heather like, I need something to happen here, because if I don't, and I have cancer, I don't know if I'm going to survive. Like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to fight this. And before this, like I said, I was the strongest guy in the world. There's nobody like stronger or tougher than me. Like, I lost my thumb in a roping deal, and it's like, that's nothing. So I go and I barely walk into this physical therapy place, like struggling to get in there. The world is tilted. I'm stressed. I'm freaking out. I don't know if I have cancer or not yet. Just the lowest I've ever been in my entire life. This dorky little guy he's a really good friend of mine. He's probably 110 pounds soaking wet, just a little dorky guy. But he's fantastic, and his breast stinks. So he wants to talk to you, right? So he's testing me and doing all these little consultation stuff, and I'm just like, man, like, what is it? Like, what's the hope, And like, my love language is like words of affirmation. I love it, but I hate it. If you tell me that I'm gonna survive, I will go to the end of the earth. I will do whatever I gotta do for you. If you tell me I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. You might as well just put me in the coffin right now. I'm not gonna make it. So I'm leaning on every word that this guy's saying. And my lowest point in my life, and he looks me in the eye and he was like, Sam, this is where God blesses me too. He's like, this all depends on you. The harder that you want to work, the more effort you put into this, the harder you work, the better you're going to get. If you want to sit and get in the fetal position, sit on the couch, stay in the bed all night, you're going to stay like this forever. If you want to be back to normal and up to your better self, you work your freaking tail off, man. Like, you work harder than you ever have in your life, and you're going to be fine. And that little phrase right there gave me so much hope. And I mean, it catapulted me. So the next day I have like my first physical therapy with him. We go to Dick's and I get brand new shoes, the whole workout, man. And I show up, I'm ready to work, because that dude lit a fire in me that you would have no idea. Like, when he said that it's up to me if I get better or not, and then physical, like, I didn't have to rely on anybody, any medicine, any person. It was me. And I was like, oh, okay, so you woke up a beast. I said, you have no idea. I'm going to work harder than anybody you have ever seen in your life, so you better be ready.
Love it.
So what did you need to do?
Like, physically work out. Like, treadmill, lifting weights, and balance stuff. So they had me doing all kinds of weird balance stuff.
So you're going through the combine in there.
Basically the combine, while they were like asking me mental questions at the same time.
Love it.
Because they needed my mind to work as well, right?
Love it.
So like, you have to get physically tired, and then your brain starts to take in more information the more physically tired you get.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have cancer, what were they all seeing? What did you have?
Thank you for watching the episode. You know, our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you.
So on the MRI, this type of lymphoma cancer, which later he thought it was lymphoma, looks exactly the same on an MRI as inflammation.
It's just inflammation.
So you could either go, dude, you got cancer, you might not make it, or we don't even have a medicine because this heals on its own, right? Like, you either go, you're gonna die, or you have a paper cut. There's no there was no in between.
So it was inflammation. How did it get there?
I had the man flu like a week before this happened. And after all the tests now, they think that just a part of the bacteria settled in my brainstem and just kind of got inflamed.
Wow.
It was a little bigger than a golf ball. But again, they couldn't tell exactly if it was a tumor or just inflammation.
Wow.
One other story that you shared with me that I thought was really powerful was that perspective change you had with your boys. Mm-hmm. Have I taught them all that they need to know?
Right.
Share that.
So like, you look at like, have I done enough? It wasn't the life didn't flash before my eyes. It's like, have I done enough for the people I love, for God, but even for other people that we're in relationships with. Like, there's people on my team that can do so much better, and I can help them be better, live better lives like I do. And my boys, it's like, I wasn't teaching them how to be like good human beings, how to be leaders, how to be fathers, how to be, just good people. So I've worked on that, and like, making them better doesn't mean being easier or nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, God is not always easy on us, right? So it's like, yeah, they've had to learn some lessons to grow up, but they're in a so much better spot for it.
Yeah.
I love it. And just being able to spend more time with them.
Yeah.
Like, we thought we work all day, and then we go home because we're all hustlers. We go home, and the first thing we would do is open our laptops back up and keep working and keep talking and keep running spreadsheets and keep doing all the things. And yeah, the kids are over there, they're playing around, or they're out back playing or whatever, but are you really with them? Absolutely not. I wasn't with them. My head and my feet were not in the same spot at the same time. So that's like very important to me. And we've made some changes for that. And guess what? Like, my business has not been affected at all.
Yeah.
Work expands to the time allowed.
Yeah.
So if you tell yourself, like, when I pick up the boys from school at 3:00, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Other than maybe a phone call here or there, but I'm done. Mm-hmm. And I make it fit right here. Mm-hmm. That's good. So when I pick them up from school, like, we done.
Yeah.
We done with work.
I think that's we hear that all the time, wherever your feet are, be there. And I love what you said, like, our feet were, but my mind wasn't, right? And our kids feel that, and it's something that I also have learned the hard way, right? It's not worth it, and you don't get that time back.
No.
So that's like a huge perspective change. You go from possibly knocking on death's door, right, to you're fine. And now what do you do with that? So it's changed your perspective with your kids, with your team members. What else has changed for you?
Like, it's your time. Well, first of all, like, I wasn't like glorifying God a lot. And I didn't want to turn this into like a sermon because like I'm not called to be like
You
a
can
pastor,
preach here.
right?
Yeah.
But like there's things like in your life that you do that I haven't been like giving credit to God for. And I'm insanely blessed, but it's like I take all the credit. Like if you help somebody out and they don't say thanks, or they don't say like, oh yeah, Janine gave this to me, or Ryan did this for me, how often are you going to want to help that person? No, because they took all the credit. So it's like, man, why am I not like telling people my story? And while I was praying, I was like, God, take me as far as you need to. But I also prayed like that other people would see this and they would learn from this. Not to say that like I'm an influencer, but there's a lot of people that come in contact with real estate or my social media, but even like our resort, I own a feed store. Like there's probably thousands of people I come in contact every year that I can affect. And what type of example have I been giving them? A horrible example. So I'm trying to, and I'm human, so I can't change overnight, but like trying to be a much better person. Like leave people better than you found them. Even the waitress at the restaurant. Like what that physical therapist said to me, those 2-3 sentences just changed the trajectory of my life. So it's like I try to be that for somebody else.
I love it.
Like at the end of the day, when I was reading the report, I didn't know how much money I had. I didn't know about the brand new truck that I just bought. I didn't know what was in my bank account. I didn't know how many boats or resorts or houses I owned. Yeah. None of that meant anything. When I was looking, and then we take even the small things for granted. That's one of the hugest things. And I'm still learning that even today because I'm not 100%. It's been 4 months almost to the day. I'm still not 100%, but I'm getting better. And I'm grateful for every day. But when I was in the hospital, not knowing if I had cancer, the world was tilted. I was on sea legs. I lost 30 pounds. I mean, knocking on death's door. And you look outside and you're just watching like, they were doing some construction. There was a guy carrying some metal conduit on his shoulder just walking down the sidewalk. And I was looking at him like, man, if God came to me right now and said, write a check for every penny that you own, sell everything you got, even the socks off my feet, and I will make you normal again, I would have wrote it. I would have wrote it as fast as possible. Because like when the world is tilted, you're not feeling good. But what good is money if you're not here? What good is money if you're not feeling right? Yeah. Money had nothing to do with what I was going through. And we just lose sight of walking. I mean, being able to open the door. But like what I wouldn't give to be able to walk normal again. Right now.
They say that real wealth is health.
100%.
Right?
It's so cool how, like when you're going through this, like, you've been to church and you're like, I swear to God, the pastor was talking to me. And I was the only one in the room. This was multiple times. Yeah. There was a song that they repeated like week after week. When have they ever done that? It was, oh my God, now that I'm on camera with you guys, I'm going to forget about it. Anyway, I think of the song, but it played twice in a row and I just broke down because it just hit me. It was like walking through the fire, but I never got burned, right? Yeah. I was tossed in the water, but I didn't drown. Yeah. Was one of the best songs. But like the pastor they're preaching right to you on what you need to do. And yeah, it's just amazing.
So what have you been able to teach your boys? Can you give us an example? Or
like
how have you been able to help someone?
Yeah, so when I'm like more of the servant heart guy. Like I'm the guy that when people break down at 2 a.m. in the morning and they're out in the middle of nowhere, I want to be the one to call. When somebody is running through their backyard at night, I want to be the one to call. When somebody's in distress, I want to be the first one. Even before 911, I want you to call me. That's how I am. But in order for somebody to feel like I feel, it has to be somebody hurting. So it's very humbling for me to be the one that is not taking care of everybody. So I taught the boys, what's really cool, a perfect example is the other night, they weren't very good at like praying. Like when we're at dinner, we pray over the dinner and I'm like, hey boys, who wants to pray today? And it was always like a fight to get them to pray. So anyway, I taught them like the importance of prayer and stuff. Well, the other night we're praying and it was like my turn to pray. So I prayed for the food. Well, then my older boy was like, hold on, I need to add on to this prayer. I was like, okay, cool, man, go ahead. So he prays for like his teacher's friend has cancer. And so my son said a prayer for his friend or whatever that had cancer. Then my other son wanted to pray because one of their kids were getting adopted or whatever like that. And like, I was like, man, that's cool. Like what I'm doing is finally like paying off because they like praying now, but then what they prayed for was insane.
Yeah.
So later that night, I had like a cool teaching moment because I said, but what you did, and I was super proud because when I went through my cancer scare, there were many people that prayed for me. And like I had a group of prayer warriors, man, that when they found out, they dropped it and they started praying.
Could you feel it?
Oh yeah, 100%. You can. And you can feel it from people who are like close with God, and then other people that like, oh, I'll send you good vibes. We'll get to that in a second. So I was teaching my boys, and I was like, one of the reasons that I think I made this through is because I had a ton of people praying and fighting for me. And what you did today was fighting for somebody else, right? So it's like, they did it for me, we need to do it for them. So if somebody asks you to pray, you drop down, you pray right away.
I
The
do.
worst thing, one of the worst things you can do or say to me is like sending me good vibes. Like don't you think God needs help doing good vibes? No, like good vibes, that's nothing. That's almost like insulting to me. So like if you say you're gonna pray.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that recently on social media when something comes up and then, you know, people put the little praise symbol.
Hate it.
I always wonder how often are they actually verbalizing or thinking a prayer, right? So I just kind of made it an effort. Like if I'm ever gonna do something like that, I'm gonna do it right then. I'm just gonna just have it in my mind right then.
Yes.
You know.
And please do that because you said like, could you feel it? And I think that I honestly could because I feel a difference from then to today. And so like when people found out what I was going through, they're like, oh man, I'll pray. Or like Heather would be on the phone. Like we have a lender partner and he's a believer guy. And we were just talking about him and Heather were talking about real estate stuff. Well, come to find out, you know, it led to where I was at. And he was walking down, I think Nashville. He's on vacation, walking down the main street in Nashville. And while he's talking with Heather, he finds out what I was going through. And then while he's walking, he stops in the middle of the road. He didn't FaceTime, but he says, I'm going to get down on my knees. This dude got down on his knees in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee, and he prayed on the phone with Heather for me.
That's so awesome.
And like I could feel that. We will be lender partners forever,
Yes.
right? But like it was things like that really helped. And I could feel that because like when I was going through all that mess, I felt really good, like I said. Like I was kind of at ease. And now I don't feel it as much because I think like when people found out I'm good and I don't have cancer, it was like, we're done. Like, no more praying for Sam. So now I'm like, the recovery is a super long process and struggle. And just you feel a little different. It's almost like, oh, you're good, you're out, dude. And I'm like, no, keep praying for me, man.
I need it.
There's a family that I follow. I've never met them. This little girl has cancer, stage 4. Second time, she's 9.
Yeah.
And she's just the cutest little thing.
Yeah.
And you could just see her body is just becoming so frail, and she's now in hospice.
Right.
And, you know, I think a lot of people are really starting to notice with her because her mom's doing a good job of telling the story on social media, so a lot of people know.
Yes.
And it's gotten some national attention. But I always wonder, does she actually feel that so many people are praying for her? I hope so. I think so.
At a young age, I don't know if she like comprehends what that like really means, right? Just because she's so young. But like honest to God, I could feel it.
I'm sure her pain has been lessened because of it, right?
For
she
sure.
She just may not be able to
100%.
attribute that to it.
And one thing, like you can feel the prayers, especially from like good believer type people. And I'm not one to judge, but like when people say like, "Hey, good vibes," like I felt nothing. Like, but when a buddy would call or a buddy would come and visit, and like he would say a prayer, and it was like that deep, warm prayer. It's like, man, I could feel that, and it kind of like gave me hope and the at ease, right?
Yeah.
And there's also comes a time like when I was saying that prayer that, you know, basically take me as far as you want to go. I understand why people with real cancer, I'm not a cancer survivor. I never had it. Thank God I never had it. So I'm not a cancer survivor, but I could totally see, because I kind of went down that road a little bit, how people want to get tired and they just like, you know, not give up. That's not the word, but it like you're basically okay with passing away, because I didn't go through near the pain that they're going through. But when you read the Bible and you research that this life is like a blink of an eye compared to the life that you're going to have after this one, you're like, not
Yeah.
that bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, this life is great, don't get me wrong, but the way the world's going, like, shoot,
For sure.
I'd be fine going today anyway. They
Right.
say it's better up there anyway, let's go, right?
Right.
Like, I don't want to go because I still have kids to take care of and stuff. But like, there was a time where I was okay with it because I knew if God took me through this, He's gonna bless my family better than I could anyway. So it's like, okay, go ahead and take me, like take care of them. But you get okay with dying in a way. Like you look at it and you're not like scared of it.
Yeah.
And I could totally see somebody that really has cancer where they'd be like, man, I'm tired and this body's torn up.
And in pain.
Yeah, I'm in pain. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, I'm ready to go. If it's better up there anyway, like.
We've said this many times because we've had several guests on our podcast that are cancer survivors or kids that have had cancer. And they always say the biggest indicator is their mental perspective on it, their mindset around it. Do they have the mindset of I'm going to beat this no matter what? And it sounds like that's what you had. And then fortunately, you didn't even have to walk down that road, right?
Yeah. And I think like never underestimating the impact that you have no matter what job you're at. I believe that, like, and the pastor talked about this the other week. I swear to God, he's just talking to me. But like, he was like, no matter what you do in life, you have a certain calling. You know, our calling might be to be realtors. Their calling might be to be media people. My physical therapist was a physical therapist. Like, don't lose how impactful you can be at whatever you do. Because that guy, like, in all humbleness, like, I'm worth a decent amount of money. I'm a halfway, like, successful guy. Like, I'm in good health and good shape, and there's many things that I'm blessed and proud of. But, like, I went down to nothing relying on this little 110-pound little dork guy, and he changed my life.
Yeah.
But to him, it was just his same 40-hour job. Yeah. Like, when you go in there and you see all the physical therapists, they're all just running through the motions. And when I was there, like, I kind of had like a group meeting. I was like, okay, guys, huddle around. Like, this is going to change. Like, what you did for me, what this gentleman did for me, like, changed the impact of my life. I was emotional every time that I got to go to physical therapy because I felt like I was working toward a plan. And every day I told him, like, don't lose sight of how impactful you can be. What you said to me changed my life, so you can change somebody else's life. Yeah. So I ended up, like, they have like monthly meetings corporate, and I ended up making like the meeting, and they talked about me and how like impactful I was, and how although like I was as low as I was still looking up, like that we can impact people, that we can make a change in people's life no matter what we do.
That's cool.
You know, whether you're a waiter or a CEO or you sweep the floor, like you can change somebody's life.
I agree.
No matter what you do.
I think that's super powerful. Wherever you are, know that God has you there for a reason, not on accident. And also be authentic with who you are. Don't be afraid to share your faith. You shared in the beginning that urgent care doctor, how he said, like, in purposefully, like, I'm going to be praying for you. Like, that's powerful.
He's never done that. He told me on the phone like a week later that he's never said that before. And he's like, there was some about you that I had to help you, that I had to say what I said. He's like, I've been a doctor for 40-something years. Never said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never taken the work home with me and told my wife about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I never gave anybody my cell phone. There was something about you.
So many people think I am a professional, I can't share my faith. Yeah. And that's clearly not you, Sam.
Right.
When you posted your story, we were on our family vacation, actually enjoying your resort and driving from one to the other. And it took us like 30 minutes, but I read it out loud to the family, and it was really, really powerful. So your story, and again, I feel like I got to walk that little bit on the sidelines as you guys were going through it, because Heather was keeping me posted, and I was fervently praying for you guys. And I remember when Heather texted me, like, praise God, it's not. Right. And it was just like the emotions, you're like expecting the worst, and then you're just, and her answer was to give God the glory, and I thought that was so cool. I think you and Heather, that makes me emotional. Every time now, you guys, like, I was doing
Let it
so
out.
good.
I love it. I'm doing better than I thought too. I thought it'd be a wreck.
No, but I think, again, just like outsider, getting to see your faith through this, and your fire for the Lord has been really cool, and also your passion to want to share that with others, so it's not wasted. Your journey is not wasted. I think is so awesome. So thank you for sharing that with us. I feel like there's so much more that we could talk about, because you have an amazing business and all of those things, so maybe we'll have to have you back for part 2.
Well, they're God's businesses. He just lets me run them.
Okay, love it, because you're a steward.
Yeah, it's impactful, and I don't a big thing I learned is why I wasn't giving the glory to God. So the more people that listen to this, the better it is. Because it's not my stuff. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
God did it for me, and
I
need to do better at talking about it.
I think you're doing great. Okay, we want to end with a little speed round, rapid fire questions. Are you up for this?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start easy. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite drink? That's the most common, by the way, I think.
It was Mountain Dew, and I drank a ton of Mountain Dew. I do anything and everything I can to get better. So they said soda's bad, so I have not drank a soda in 4 months.
Okay. Wow.
But once this is good, I'm getting back to Mountain Dew. Okay?
So what would be your second favorite then? What are you drinking now? Just water?
Water. I'm crazy, man. When they say this helps, water, I drink water.
Let's do
what you gotta do.
Okay.
I pee
food?
10 times a day. I don't know if you want to put that on there.
Favorite food?
Before this, I was a big cereal guy. I ate at least 2 bowls of cereal.
What's your favorite
every day.
cereal?
Any cereal but Grape Nuts.
Oh.
Grape Nuts is the only one. No matter how much sugar you add to it tastes like cardboard.
So I actually ask youth this often. I go around and say, "What is your favorite cereal?" Hands down, the most popular.
I want to guess. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's what I would have guessed.
I would say that's probably mine.
Hands
That's
down.
awesome. Yeah. That's
It's
so funny.
50 to 1.
It's
crazy.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Okay.
You gotta get the name brand one because the malto milk doesn't taste the same and the crunch isn't the same.
That's right. That's right.
It's weird.
Okay. Do you have a favorite book?
Now that you put me on the spot, there's one. What's it called? Golf is a game of. Is it golf? Golf is a game of inches.
Okay.
It talks about say you have a bad day, don't let it ruin your week or your month. Kind of reset and start over from this day, right?
Love
Just
that.
because you had a bad day or a business went south or a deal went south, that doesn't mean you're a bad person or a bad business.
Yeah.
Hey man, wash it off, regrow, regroup. Yeah, you're hitting from the roof, but it's a brand new shot.
Love
right?
it.
Every day is a brand new day.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite sound?
Besides the Bible, sorry, that's my favorite book.
Yeah.
Favorite sound?
Favorite sound.
Honestly, dude, babies breathing, when they're say that 3 month to 9 month age. When I was holding my boys, man, I could just sit there and listen to them
Love it.
because it sounds so innocent.
Yeah.
There's no worries, there's no
Yeah.
stress. They just living, dude, and the relaxation of I don't know. I think
I
it's
love
That's
it.
a great answer.
There
Okay,
are
we
some
never
farts
had
that are
answer.
funny.
No.
There are some farts that are funny.
Oh gosh, we don't want to go there. What about a favorite podcast? Are you a podcast guy?
I'm into the big 2020s and Datelines and
Oh, really?
murder mysteries.
Oh.
I try to
My
figure
wife
out
is.
who did it
I'm
before
all-
they tell you who did it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
someone else said this. If I ever had to commit a crime, I would know how to do it. Because
I know.
I watch a lot of those shows.
I know. That's what I worry about.
Yes,
Between her
Okay,
and
you
my
should be.
wife.
Yes,
She
because I
fall-
kind of figured out. I'm like, man, I could hide this
I
over
could-
here.
yeah.
She falls
Leave my
asleep
phone at
watching this
home.
crap.
Yes,
And that's a big desert out there.
yes, it is. And I have
Watch
tractors.
out.
I could make somebody
Watch
disappear.
out.
Call me. I got the side business, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite vacation, and then I got one more for you.
That I've been on or I would like to do.
Let's
Both.
say that you've been on.
Hawaii for the honeymoon. We went
Oh.
honeymoon to Hawaii for obvious reasons, but Hawaii's awesome.
Hawaii's Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii's
Hawaii's
amazing.
Hawaii. We're not big out of country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My luck, when I go over there, World War III is gonna start, and I'm gonna be stuck
Great.
over
Yeah,
there. So
great.
we don't go over there.
All right, my last one, Sam. What do you want to be known for?
Oh my gosh, that one's kind of real after this. You think of that, right? That's a huge.
What's your legacy?
Huge question. Honestly, I like to be known for the everything guy. I've done everything, I've been everything, and I will help anybody with anything. My biggest anxiety, and I have a life coach, a business coach about this, and I can't pinpoint one thing that I want to do. And there's a lot of people that do it and they succeed at it. I'm not that guy. I want to experience everything in life, and I don't want to be known for one thing. That's my biggest anxiety. Is I don't want to be known for one thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Just the nicest
That's
everything guy.
Helper, for sure.
Yeah,
I love
I don't
it.
know.
Servant.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for sharing.
you guys. You're
And
awesome.
I think we'll have to have you back for round
I'm
2.
excited.
Yeah, we got more to dig into, I
Awesome.
think.
Yeah, let's talk about cooler stuff sometime.
Right? Maybe some real estate or some investing.
Yeah, let's talk
that's
about that
For sure.
stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.